So in this video, I'm breaking down True Classic's email flows and pay attention to the checklist that I use to gauge their performance and see exactly how I will improve them if I want to increase the sales that they generate. And there are quite a few golden nuggets here and there, so also pay attention to those. Bye.
Okay, so I'm Matt Pirelli, and this is another flow breakdown, in this case for True Classic. We'll be breaking down two flows here, the cart abandonment flow and the browse abandonment flow. So I'll be running this through my checklist at the end, my different items where I'll be deciding at the end whether any of these emails deserve to be called a diamond email, which we'll get to in a moment. So for now, two flows. The first one is the checkout abandonment flow, which is this email. I've received a lot of emails from them, but I was checking. This is why some of them are open, because I was reviewing the TUTM code at the URL to know whether they are campaigns or from flows. And only these 4 emails come from flows. All of these are campaigns. And they just sent me one cart abandonment email. So let's check on this. This is cart abandonment email number 1 and only. Friends, the items in your cart are waiting for you. Treat yourself, check out before we sell out. Complete and enjoy top notch in your cart. Finally, I actually purchased this, so I'm wearing that shirt, but that's another story. So, okay, just a simple card reminder. Check out now, top picks for you. I'm assuming this is dynamic, so they're using Klaviyo. Again, I know because I click this and I can see the URL. They have the Klaviyo code, and this is a dynamic code, which is dynamic block, which is different for every person. So basically, it's just if it's set up as the way I think it is, it's gonna suggest people different products based on what they were adding to the cart, they were browsing. So most likely. And then some trust building. And this is nice. This is more than just a review. So besides the fact that it's just like a tweet or whatever it is, but the fact that this is the angle, fool everyone into thinking I'm harder than I am. No, that is a big idea. That is a really good idea, and also a big idea that they could also implement in other future emails. This idea of like fooling people or getting people to think or see you better or differently. And then this message is clipped, so that is definitely bad. So potentially they are not tracking this because they're not tracking some of the elements, or Klaviyo is not tracking some of the elements because the email got clipped. So if you can see, like I have an extension which I can know whether I'm being tracked or not. This case I was curious because why they were not like tracking me, and it's because of this. So usually Klaviyo adds the pixel at the bottom of the email. So if the email is clipped, then they are missing the pixel and they cannot know whether you open the email or not. So that is a red flag. But the fix is simple. There's an option in Klaviyo where you can insert the pixel at the top. It's really funny that they are not doing this at their size, but whatever. Yeah, this is just bloating the template with code, and this is probably why like the emails weighs too much and Gmail is like clipping the email. All of this, yeah, you can get rid of all of this. In Klaviyo you can see like how much the email weighs. This adds unnecessarily too much weight to an email, and you don't need this on an email of this kind. Like you want people to actually purchase, like you don't want to push them back to other places. So this is just hurting in many ways. But anyway, that is the first and only email that I received from them, which is strange. I don't know why they're sending just one email. But let's run this through this to the checklist. Friend, the items in your cart waiting for you. Nothing special. Straight to the point. So I don't know. We could play on this idea again. That would be super like fun. Like you're one step away from fooling everyone as a subject line, for example. Would be better because when you see this email, when you read this email, like you know what you're coming for. Like you expect that this is a cart abandonment email. You expect the pitch and all of that. So they could do better on that side. Trust. They are playing on this like social proof trust building element. So this is okay. Desire, building desire. So again, the main benefit of this t-shirts, the reason why I bought this, honestly, the founder Ryan was kind enough to give them to me, so that is another story. But I'm just still like sorry, but I'm still like telling the things how I see them, just for constructional feedback. But yeah, anyway, they have the trust elements in place, but as far as desire goes, like this is one of the angles for desire. So if we send an email with this subject line that I just told you that you're one step away from like fooling everyone, first of all, it's also like has a good curiosity element. So by that side, we'll also get more opens. But it also gets you open on this new big idea, a new frame of mine, which we could also qualify as a new frame, an emotional frame that you are framing, that you are like fooling people, right? Or like getting them to see you differently. So that is the big frame, big emotion that we are injecting, and maybe we can play on that a little bit here, play on that desire, right? And maybe have like a subtle before and after image of someone very like the baggy t-shirts, and then like this type of t-shirt, like their t-shirt, which are have a better fit. Playing on that line. But again, like yeah, playing that. Right now they are only appealing to one reason for not buying, which is forgetting about the card. But that is just one of the many reasons people have to not buy. Forgetting is just one of them. But the others is like this is our whole thesis at email engineers, which is like conviction email marketing, and it's that when someone doesn't buy, someone doesn't purchase from you, it's not because of an issue with the pricing or because they forgot, it's because their conviction is not high enough. The conviction in your products and your brand. So we need to inject some desire and trust to build the conviction. Trust plus desire equals conviction. So we need to do a little more of this part of the equation here, right? So this is just appealing to the fact that we forgot, resonating with just a small segment of the audience. But that is it, right? So this is just the email, so nothing much else to cover in terms of ham, making the email covering the email with ham so it's easier to digest and more tasty. They could do a better job, but I explained already how they could do that with this fooling the people. Eye candy, the email looks fine, gets your attention, looks on brand, looks super on brand, and online with the positioning. And in terms of timing and cadence, it's just one email, so the cadence is not existing for a brand like True Classic, 9-figure brand, I believe now. They could afford, and they should have like up to 8 emails in a sequence like this, the cart abandonment email sequence. So strange that they're not doing this, but at least like going one, adding like 2 or 3 emails to this sequence, testing different offers, testing different things, Strange that they're not doing this, but what do you know? Maybe they test this. I don't think that, like, it's rarely the case where adding more cart abandonment emails does worse, provided they are good. So I don't know what their whole strategy is. Maybe they are revamping the whole flows or whatever. Next, we have the browse abandonment flow. So that was the checkout abandonment. Now we move to the browse abandonment, which is triggered when you view a product and then leave. So we have 3 emails. This is a campaign. This is a campaign. I already checked by clicking the email, by opening the email, clicking the email, and then seeing the code in the URL, and I saw that that was a campaign. So there are 3 emails in the browse abandonment sequence. Why don't you try us on? Which kind of hints possibly at the like idea that we were viewing them, but it's not as direct. So what 99% of brands do is like send an email with a subject line that says like, we saw you looking at us, and like with the eyes emoji, which is super creepy, and people don't want to feel like they are being watched. So we never do that with our clients, because it's a bad framing to enter the email with. It's like the framing is not a good emotion. It's like kind of emotion of fear, but in a bad way. So we don't want to do that. Sadly, they do exactly that here. Tired of window shopping, you're missing out. And with the eyes. Not ideal. We don't want to, as customers, feel like we're being watched. So we avoid this. You can just assume that they're interested in your products. So they were browsing. We know that. They know that. So why why bring it up to the table? It's just a known fact, rather than just lean on that and do whatever else. And then they push to some bestsellers. Shop now. These are all images. Then they build some trust with this. They guarantee the email is not clipped. That at least a positive. But it's a very simple email. But again, it's appealing to the forgetting side of the equation on the big list of why are people not buying from us. So it's just one of the elements, forgetting. But again, the same comments that I made for the checkout abandonment email can apply here. Exactly the same. Building desire for this type of t-shirts, which fits better. Like the same exact comments that I made apply here. So I'm not saying this email is not getting sales. It's probably converting at 2 to 3%. So tops. So it's getting sales, and because of the massive volume, they're most likely okay with that. So this is what we call performance limbo, which is when you have a good enough size, your 7-figure, 8-figure brand, 9-figure brand, the volume makes up for the fact that the emails are not converting very nice. So you see your Klaviyo sales, you see that the browse abandonment flow is getting sales, the checkout abandonment flow is getting sales. Because of the huge volume of new people you have going through the flows, you feel fine, right? But you don't really know how better things could be if you spend a little more time optimizing things. So we've gotten clients 2 to 4 times more sales by making better emails and implementing these concepts. And problem is with your at this size, like you let yourself go because you have possibly better things to do, and you let the same flows like run over and over, right? So that's the performance limbo phenomenon. And not a good place to be, because they're leaving tons of revenue on the table, like possibly between the checkout abandonment and the browse abandonment flow, like 6 figures lost because they're not doing a better job at optimizing the conversion rate of this flows. Anyway, this is email 1. Maybe they are doing better at email 2. Your new style awaits. New style awaits. This is a better subject line. So this is framing the email differently, which I like. New style. So this is like a part of like a new identity that you're building with their clothing, right? And that is cool because when you buy one of their items, you form this new identity that you resonate with through Classic. You're most likely to buy the other product lines that they have, right? So you're building that lifetime value with your customers when you get them to identify with your brand. So this is key. So this is a nice subject line that they're using. Try it on. We bet you won't take it off. This is okay. Gets your attention at least. Pick your new favorite. Playing on some offer, curious, jogger. So they are now pointing you to best sellers. So we browsed a t-shirt, right? I was browsing t-shirts, but they are now sending emails about just best sellers and jackets. So potentially I would expect that at their size they know that these are high lifetime value products, meaning when someone buys either a crew, a jogger, or a jacket, it leads to a higher lifetime value because either the person buying these has like higher like spending power, or because they have such a nice experience with the crews, with the joggers, with the jackets, then afterward feel more compelled to buy more. But the big idea here is that hopefully they are pushing high lifetime value products, because there are low lifetime value products and high lifetime value products, meaning some products naturally lead to a high lifetime value because the experience people have with these products, right? Hopefully they're doing this. I'm assuming jacket is a good category. Then some trust building for you, find your perfect fit. It's guaranteed. It's not as specific. So that is, if you haven't read this book, do it. It's gonna change your approach to marketing and advertising forever. It's a super short read. You read it in 3 trips to the bathroom. Now, chapter 7 is one of the most important, and that is on specificity. Being specific, right here. Being specific. What is guaranteed? What do they mean with guaranteed? Find your perfect fit is guaranteed. Guaranteed to God? To what? Right? I don't know. It's not clear. It's not specific. What do you mean by this? I would like to see that here. It could be one line, like it's guaranteed. Like find your perfect fit. If you don't like it within the first 30 days, we'll send your money back. Even better, find your perfect fit. If you don't get a compliment within the first 30 days, we'll send your money back. Something like that. But that's the idea. So again, it's an okay email, builds some trust, not much desire. We already covered that. So overall, not much conviction. And then this is the other email in that sequence, which again, I know because I clicked this before and I checked the URL and saw that this had the flow name on the email. Your closet doesn't need to be complicated. And then the subject line style doesn't need to be complicated. That is another potential good email, a good frame to put people through. Style doesn't need to be complicated. So this is appealing to, well, men like me who like find it hard to, like dress nicely. Which is why I purchased from Too Classic. Or rather, like, they send me this. But in any case, style doesn't need to be complicated. It's a pain point that people have, and most likely a big part of the audience, right? So this is a nice frame. Let's see if they pay it off. Your closet doesn't need to be complicated. Okay, in line with the frame. The best outfits start with the basics. crew that got everything, jeans that give you a better lift. So this is a better idea. Could even qualify as a ham email of framing the typical pitch in a different, more entertaining way, a bigger idea than what it is on its own. And I think it will qualify. Your closet doesn't need to be complicated, style doesn't need to be complicated. Just buy this and you will look fine. So that is nice. That is also like playing on the desire of like making things easier when you don't know anything about styling. It could be better on the desire building, but at least they're going there. Feel the difference? This is nice. This gets you to visualize things. Now this is just for jeans or like chinos, but the t-shirt is the same, literally. Yeah, it's the same tee. So maybe they could have put this guy with the bad fitting tee, and the impact will be even better. Sure, they have a reason for this, but potentially it would have been a better email, because I was browsing t-shirts again, not jeans or anything, right? So strange, but possibly another reason. But yeah, so this is the last email, right? So what I'm missing here is digging deeper into the desire part, the desire building part of the emails. On any of the email topics we covered, which like they were going in a nice direction. Style doesn't need to be complicated. Unique style awaits. Right? It was going on a nice direction, but possibly they could have done a better job, let's say, by showing actual reviews from people who claim that now they get compliments since wearing True Classic, and all they did was just purchase like a pack or something like that, and now they get compliments. They have like 3 or 5 reviews, all talk about the same topic, and being part of this big idea that style doesn't need to be complicated, your closet doesn't need to be complicated. That would be a better email that builds desire, targeting the people like me who like have trouble finding good clothing, and like yes, on that line. So that would be a better email. That would be even a ham email again, like wrapping the email in a different, like more entertaining idea. Even more entertaining, like the best ham wrapper would be like grabbing one testimonial from one guy, sending a text-based email from someone inside the team. The text-based emails have the benefit of they are not perceived as like sales pitches. They feel more personal, so when people read these, their guards are not like super high, meaning you can deliver the same message directly to the brain. Specifically, if you're being like more emotional, let's say you're using storytelling, you're appealing straight to the emotional part of the brain, skipping the logical side, building on that side to, I don't know, like if they have like a good review of someone who really struggled with this, with their styling, like he went on no dates, had no woman, like no girlfriend for 8 years because of this, because he was so focused on work that he let his life pass, and he was dressing badly and all of that. But then suddenly he was introduced to True Classics by a friend, and his life changed. Now he gets compliments, he's dating someone, or he's married and he's having a baby, and whatever. But that would be a better email. That would be a better email that would present this whole idea of style doesn't need to be complicated. It would build on that desire, right? and have this ham element. So that is how we will approach email flows for True Classic. Now, iCandy, the emails look fine, they look on brand. So specifically this before and after type of thing that demonstrate the product, it's fine. iCandy, yeah, the templates look maybe too similar, so they're not triggering that dopamine hit. No, these are different, but these are sales campaigns. But the flows look fairly similar, like the styling and the layout. But it's not the same, exactly the same as if it was just made on Canva and someone replaced just the headline. So at least it's like feels kind of new. So it's worth like reading it and scrolling through it. Right? If you're relying on the same templated emails like made on Canva, like people perceive that you didn't put much effort into the emails, so they don't put much effort into reading the email. That's what we've seen. That is why we put so much focus on creating iCandy emails and making the emails feel like very different from each other. So that's iCandy. Timing plus cadence, 3 emails in the process abandonment sequence, which is kind of fine. Again, because of the volume they have, they could afford to have 6 emails, 8 emails even on this sequence, and all performing very well, providing they are covering all of these items, right? We're sending really good emails. So, and the call to actions finally. So, well, they are super straightforward as they have to be. Shop jeans, shop jackets, shop crews. So this is fine. Yeah, this is fine for this type of flow. And do I see any diamond email? Not much. I'm missing a lot of the desire building part of the emails. The trust part of the equation of the conviction, like again, trust plus desire equals conviction. You need to build the conviction on people's so they buy. You need to for them to cross the conviction threshold, which is different from for each person. Some people's conviction threshold are really low, so the shopaholics people just buy like sight unseen. For other people, the conviction threshold is higher. You need to inject more desire and more trust to get them to buy. So I'm missing the desire part, and on the trust side is to getting like people to realize, to trust us. First of all, we are not scammers on the internet because of the reputation that True Classic have and so much the money they spend on advertising, they cover that. The other side of the equation is that they have to trust that our products do what we say we do, right? One type of that is through demonstrations like this. These help. Again, they could have done the same with a T, or this could even be a GIF, like a short video. So he's like, I don't know, demonstrating if it's a like stretchy fabric, something like that. Demonstration help build trust. But again, these are the 2 sequences. There are okay-ish, not ideal. They are leaving 6 figures on the table each month very easily at their size, but not making these emails better. Again, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.